My name is Karl Sherrill. I am with High Street Insurance Partners, and my role there is Chief Revenue Officer. So when we speak about marketing and branding, it's an interesting topic, and there's two pieces to the puzzle. Because brand allows us to market into our external community, but the brand should also be something that we can talk about internally. And the only way we can really, the starting point for this is knowing who we are as an agency, knowing who we want to be, knowing where we're going. So all that thing are all about your vision and your mission and where you're headed in your agency's success pattern and life cycle. And so knowing that allows you to be consistent in delivering who the brand is. And who the brand is the people within your agency. What the brand should communicate is what a client can expect to experience when they interact with anyone in your agency. And so that's why it matters that it's a genuine message that's reflective of your team, because when your team goes out in the community, that's representing your agency. And they're going to be the ones that are interacting much more frequently with more and more people than just that day to day. And so you want to make sure that your brand is consistent. Once you are sure of that, then you take that brand out into the marketplace and you want to market yourself in a way that is consistent with who you are. If you're in a small town, a small business community, and personal insurance is your primary objective, then people should come into the agency. It should feel like home. It should feel like family. It should feel like what they experience with the people they do business with. If you're an agency that's a larger agency, and your target client are national accounts, publicly traded companies, then that professionalism and that look and that sophistication should be a part of what they experience when they interact with your agency. And that should be what's reflected in your brand. So many people spend a lot of time on what's the right logo, what's the right tagline, what's the right color scheme, and all of that is important for marketing. But it will not matter if that brand message is not consistent and true to who the agency is. So it's really important that we think about that, because that is a huge role in the agency's success. And the biggest part of that is if your brand is inconsistent, then you will find yourself in a marketplace where people have a really contrasting experience with what they're hearing and what they're experiencing. And what that means is you will lose reputational credibility in the market. And reputation is one of our most valuable assets. Reputation is that thing that can be lost quickly and hard to regain. And so for the success of an agency that's long-term successful, their sustainability is directly related to their relationships in the marketplace. So build a brand that's genuine, build a brand that's real, make it beautiful and fun and colorful, and have a great tagline so that you can take that out and have fun with that in the marketplace when you're communicating who you are. But make sure that all of that goes back to a genuine representation of the people on the team and the way that you expect your agency team to do business with their clients. Let me also talk a little bit about retention. Retention is a big key element. We have high retention in our industry, but it doesn't mean that we should take it for granted. And retention matters, right? Because it costs more to bring in a new account than to keep accounts we already have. In fact, we have already invested in that acquisition expense to acquire a new account, a new client. And so the expense to retain that client does not include all that additional time and energy and cost. So it is a better way, it's a more profitable account. And at the end of the day, retention is a key element in how valuable an agency is. We want to see that you can build a relationship, keep a relationship, sustain a relationship, and time again that you are renewing your accounts. Retention also matters because we want to have a relationship with our clients that is long-lasting. A long-lasting relationship gives you the benefit of the doubt in a world where sometimes we have to deliver negative news, negative information about the insurance program. But people that have been with us longer, we've got credibility in the bank account. And they trust us, and they give us the benefit of the doubt, and they allow our team to be human and to have conversations with them about real things, and it builds that trusted advisor. And there's a lot of talk in our business about how to be a trusted advisor, and we want to be a trusted advisor. The way you are a trusted advisor, the way you earn trust, is no different in an insurance agency than it is in your personal life. You have to be consistent in who you are over a long period of time with a person. And it's a relationship building world. And so if you can build that relationship with your client and maintain it over time, then you truly achieve that trusted advisor piece of the puzzle. The other thing I would say is that another great retention tool is not just that relationship and managing the relationship throughout the entire year, but also how do we round out an account? I like to talk about retention from the standpoint of my client is going to be at the dinner table and I'm the only one that should be having dinner with them. If I'm not selling them a cyber policy and somebody else is, every once in a while, they're going to have dinner with somebody else. And I don't want them to ever be sitting at the table with someone after they've had a negative experience in the insurance world. And they think, well, Carl's been great, his team does a good job, but this thing just happened. And now John's here, and I might give John a chance. I know he's just done my cyber. Let him take a look at everything else. Rounding out an account is one of the ways to protect yourself, but also to make sure that you're building a real relationship with a client. You should be taking care of all their risk. Rounding out an account is not just a retention tool, but it's a relationship tool. And so we should be thinking about what is the total risk that is facing our clients. And listen, if your agency isn't able to supply that risk or to meet that need from an insurance product perspective, then have vetted, qualified, trusted people in your circles that you can refer them to who you can trust. Because at the end of the day, you want your client to know your point person on taking care of all the things that could expose them both personally and in their business to risk.